Hey guys, Andrew Shrout. I'm here in the sideboard with Zach Sigman. How's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going? How's your day?
Good. And you are playing a spicy brew today. You have
I've tried.
Gotten out to a 6-0 start with red-white painter.
Yep.
So tell me a little about this deck and why you chose to play it today.
I've been playing Painter Servant decks, like brewing them for the last 2-ish years.
Okay.
And I've played a lot of different color combinations, like, mono red, red blue, red white. Red blue was fun, but it just wasn't consistent enough. Like, just adding like for brainstorm and random sideboard cards was cool. But adding white for Enlightened Tutor just streamlines it, makes it a lot more consistent, I think.
Okay. So Enlightened Tutor, the big addition. You have 3 Swords to Plowshares, but mostly this is a splash for Enlightened Tutor.
Enlightened Tutor, Rest in Peace, and some random techie stuff.
Sure. Oh yeah, splash for Enlightened Tutor, and then things you can get with Enlightened Tutor.
Oh, absolutely.
So Enlightened Tutor, of course, gets both pieces of your Painter Servant combo. It gets the Blood Moons, which are an important part of this deck, and then it also just gets some wonky Enlightened Tutor things.
Yeah, if I'm playing against Storm, or if I feel I'm playing against Storm, it could fetch up a turn 2 Trinisphere, or it could fetch up a Helm if I'm going Rest in Peace Helm. If I see Dredge, obviously Rest in Peace is the target. One thing I was kind of worried about was Sneak and Show. I mean, I have decent equity against it. I guess I haven't play tested enough to know percentages.
Right.
But just being able to grab O-Ring seems really good against Show and Tell.
So you have a Rest in Peace, a Helm of Obedience, so for the kind of the backup combo there.
Both singletons, yes.
Yep. These are all one-ofs here. To
a lot of one-ofs.
One Ensnaring Bridge, one Trinisphere.
2 Ensnaring Bridges.
2, okay. You might need to draw one of those, I suppose.
You never know.
Fair enough.
Something could happen to the first one.
Okay. All right, so yeah, Ensnaring Bridge, Trinisphere, Oblivion Ring, one Leyline of Sanctity.
That was a late addition. It has a lot of utility. I haven't played it yet, actually.
This is kind of a just-in-case sort of situation?
I like it as like a 59th, 60th card.
Okay.
Just because it has a lot of value against, your random like Red-Blue Delver, your Burns. Really good against preventing hand cakes. I am susceptible to that.
Sure. Okay.
Because I do want to protect the combo or Blood Moon from my hand.
Yeah, of course.
And I've played games in prior tournaments where it's really funny with like a Jace or a Liliana up on the field.
Okay, yeah, it turns off both of their ultimates.
Yeah.
All right, and the Fate Seal, actually.
It protects against a lot of random things.
Okay.
It's good against Storm.
Sure.
Because if I can play that against Storm and jam them into the Empty the Warrens route, they're never going to expect like the turn 2 Pyroclasm. And then they're sitting with 0-card hand and I have free reign.
Okay. Another card I want to talk about in your deck. This is a card that doesn't see a ton of play in other Painter Servant decks, is Faithless Looting.
Faithless Looting was an interesting idea I had, just because I wanted some kind of card draw engine, but I didn't want to flood my hand in case Ensnaring Bridge was an out I needed.
Okay.
And it really helps, like, because we've all like Sensei's topped and had 3 cards you just never want to see.
Right.
So you can just like get rid of those really easily and start anew.
Okay. So basically you're just like looking for a card filtering sort of engine that worked well with Ensnaring Bridge? Like,
yes.
you think it just fits in Ensnaring Bridge decks?
Yeah, well, obviously, if you think about the color pie, red-white is the weakest in card drawing.
Sure.
And that having flashback, it seemed like a really good 2-of in my mind.
Okay.
Just because it let me filter through, because I've had quick games in this tournament so far, but generally this is a very grindy deck if something happens to the combo. And it's just really good to be able to do that later in games.
Yeah, like, the later the game goes, the more likely you are to have redundant cards in hand.
Oh, absolutely.
It kind of fills the same role as like a Brainstorm would with a fetch land, I suppose?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
But obviously I'm not going to be doing a lot of fetch land, hopefully.
Right, yeah, not with
hopefully my fetch lands are mountains at that point.
Sure. Yeah, you don't have fetch lands, of course, because you're Blood Moon.
I do run 3 Arid Maces, but
yeah, you're not like
ostensibly
one of those...
when I counted the deck, I counted them as mountains with upside.
Right. Okay, that's fair. Tell me a little about your matchups with this deck. What are you hoping to play against when you register this deck?
Anything with a greedy mana base, I'm all right with.
All right.
I feel with the main 60 I have decent matchups against certain combos.
The bullets do a lot of work, I suppose.
Well, yes. Dredge is a good matchup for me game 1, because if they have no answer for Rest in Peace, I can, with, Sensei's top 3 Enlightened Tutors and a Rest in Peace there to begin with, I can kind of just hopefully stick that and win the game.
Sure.
Because I played against Dredge round 2, I believe.
Okay.
Enlightened Tutored up rest in peace, and was able to just pyroclasm his board away. And then we just kind of sat there until I hit what I needed.
So basically, like, glass cannon, unfair decks, and non-basic lands are
non-basic
what you're
lands are
hoping
my
for
best
here.
friend.
Sure. All right, fair enough. Mountains are your best friend once you get those blood moons into play.
Mr. Chapin over there would be very happy. Yes, mountains are my best friend.
What are you hoping not to play against with this deck?
Burn.
Oh, okay.
Burn, I think, I know I have one main deck leyline, but with the amount of Ancient Tombing I will do, Burn will hurt me really hard, and they can kill Painter Servant with how many of their direct damage spells?
Right.
Like any kind of bolt chain lightning effect, and it's a little rough for me. I mean, I can get around it. I haven't played against it yet today.
Yeah, dodged it so far. Sorry, 6-0, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little about how your tournament's gone so far. What all have you played against?
Round 1, I played against Bug Delver, where Blood Moon won me game 1. Game 2, my opponent made a slight misplay off of turn 1 or turn 2 Brainstorm, because when I went for the turn 2 or turn 3 Blood Moon, he cracked and had all of his green mana in his hand and could not abrupt decay or could not float the mana abrupt decay.
Wow. Okay.
So I just won the game off that. He was upset, obviously.
That's rough. Okay.
Round 2, I played against Dredge, and rest in peace, was just really good.
Sure.
Because he wasn't playing the Nature's Claims answers. He was going the more Steel Sabotage, possibly a
trying
null.
To bounce things.
Yeah, like just hard counter them before it ever resolves and hurts him.
Okay.
But he didn't have it, and I rest in peace real quick against him. Game 3 was Elves.
All right.
I kind of got lucky. My opening 7 was bad, and my starting 6 then had had like Mountain Plains, Swords, Pyroclasm.
Yeah, you do have 2 main deck Pyroclasms and a third in the board.
That was kind of good against Elves.
Yeah, that matchup
Not
seems
gonna
reasonable for that.
Going turn 1 Swords, a Heritage Druid, and then letting him empty his hand and going Pyroclasm is pretty strong. Round 3 was Dead Guy Ale.
Round 4, yeah, okay.
Was that 4?
Yeah, 3 was Elves.
Oh, 3 was Elves, sorry. 4 was Dead Guy Ale, which I didn't have a lot of experience playing against, but Blood Moon kind of locked him out of the game.
Okay. So you just mono decks that are dead to Blood Moon, it kind of sounds like.
Well, no, it was an interesting choice, because he went either turn 1 or turn 2 Thoughtseize on the play, and I had Painter Servant, I had Grindstone, Ensnaring Bridge, Blood Moon.
Okay.
And he took the Blood Moon so he could continue to actually play the game.
Sure.
When I stuck Ensnaring Bridge, he never found an answer for it. So he ended up sitting with...
so you get some redundancy with your permanents that
lock
lock up the game.
He had an Aether Vial too, and ended up sitting with 3 Sarah's Avengers.
Okay.
And I was just sitting there with Ensnaring Bridge and 1 card in hand.
Right. Fair enough.
Round 5 was Food Chain, a deck I had no experience against. Like, none at all. I forget.
Most people don't.
Yeah. I knew how the deck worked, but I'd never played the matchup. Game 1, he never saw Food Chain, but I was a little tipped off when he went turn 2. I can't remember the
Manipulate Fate.
Manipulate Fate, thank you.
That's always the one.
As soon as I saw that, I knew exactly what it was, because I was just talking with a friend about that deck. I'm like, all right, I get to see how this works.
Okay. And then we just had you on camera, actually.
Yeah, that was the quickest round I've had.
Deathblade, I believe, out of Rudy Brixa.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything has worked out so far. You're 6-0, and
so far,
you're within sniffing distance of top 8. I'm not trying to put the jinx on you, but...
okay. I'll survive.
All right, cool. I'll be rooting for you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of the Legacy Open here in New Jersey.